Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dutch race video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21. It's time for Assen, Dutch GP, in our MotoE career mode. So in E-pole is going to be Grant with Torres and Eggert on the front row, with Mikel Pons in fourth, with Granado and Zacconi on the second row, Casadei, Herrera, Mantovani, Parolari, Tulovic and Hernandez, Okubu, Ferrari, Aldeguer, Iwema, Zanoni, Perez and Javier Cardalus at the back of the grid. So we look to the lights here in the Cathedral of Motorsport, and away we go. It's a decent start from the rest of the riders, not so much for Grant. That's a bad start, down to 6th position already, as the Octo Pramac riders, Maria Herrera there as well, all getting up on the inside. Got Mantovani not too far back as well. We got, looks like a teammate of mine gone ahead of us, as Lucas Tulovic goes up on the inside. Very brave manoeuvre there from the man on the right hand side of your screen, as we now go into turn 3. Another position has been lost. This time it's going to be Yoni Hernandez going up on the inside. Is it quite? Not quite sure who it is yet. The timing screen's going up. There is Yoni Hernandez actually on the right hand side. Difficult to keep up with so much contact and carnage going off at the start of this Grand Prix. The only thing we really need to know is we are down from first position, the E-pole, down to 11th. This 8-lap sprint is going to be a tough one, so get ready for this one. Buckle in tight, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to get wild. Left-hand side will go for the Russian hook. Left-hand side will go around the outside of Carrington Parolari. Have we got the job done? It looks like we've got the job done quite. Not quite, possibly. No, we have not. Parolari fought back very, very well there. Responding well is Parolari at the early stages of this Grand Prix, but going into De Bolt, pretty strong in this flip-flop section here. Go to the left there, then go to the right-hand side. Can't really get up the inside unless he pushes Maria Herrera a little bit wider. The lady is getting pushed a bit further back, but now Parolari and Grant making a little bit of contact, as we do have the inside line going into the 12th corner. Assen, major contact made there as well. I heard the connection between the bikes just in the headphones as there, and just a very, very scary moment for both men involved, going in to that right-hander, of course, but now into Ramshock for the 15th corner for their very first time of asking. Hard on the brakes will go. Wonderfully done getting over the inside of Tulovic. Not quite. Have we got the job done? It looks like we have. Brilliantly done there from Grant on board the Energico Ego bike. Full electronic bike, of course, with no traction control, just power settings and engine braking involved in this bike right now. We're going into Harbock for turn 1. Casadei ahead of us, Mantovani, even more a couple of riders as well, who are all very competitive in the early stages of this race. But there is Mikel Pons in second place. What a fantastic position for Mikel Pons right now, the man who's taken 1 podium this season. But not in the video game format, but in real life. It looks like Mantovani has ran it a little bit wide. Teammate gone wide. Teammate up on the inside. Thanks for playing, Mantovani. It's now my time to chase down Eric Granado and the rest of the riders on this track. Now, something to mention, I have absolutely no idea why we're wearing rain suits. We had rain suits in the practice session earlier on because, of course, it was wet. But for some reason, they've decided to keep it on a little bit longer. Maybe it's just attached to the suit. I'm not sure. Something's gone wrong there, definitely. But now around the outside of Eric Granado, yes, beautifully done. Look at the acceleration we got coming out of that corner there. Very, very positive stuff from Matt Grant at this stage of this Grand Prix. Went from 1st to 11th, and now back up to 5th position. Getting closer and closer to those podium positions. That is exactly where we need to be with this championship onslaught that we are putting on this season. 2 wins out of 2 so far for Grant. Can we make it one better and go for 3 in a row? The trifecta here today in Assen. It's certainly something I want to get done because I love Assen and it's one of my favourite tracks in the world. And to get a victory here in the MotoE class, you better believe I'm going to be going all gung-ho. But Zacconi up on the left-hand side, going to go round the outside of Zacconi. Certainly thought about it, but we're not going to be able to get the job done on the Octo Pramac Energica Ego rider. Jordi Torres there in 3rd place, the current World Cup winner, as Matt Grant sets the fast lap of the race with a 1:42.661. Hard on the brakes, can we go around the outside of Zacconi this time? We're certainly thinking about it. We're certainly engaging in battle with Alessandro Zacconi, one of the championship protagonists of this season. In my opinion, one of the best riders in MotoE as well. Bit of hard luck towards the end of last season, or this season, depending if you're still calling it this season in real life. But I expect great things for Zacconi as he dives up the inside going into Strubben. I cannot believe he's just done my favourite manoeuvre in Assen to against me. I'm going to have to try and get him back sooner rather than later. That's my favourite move going into Strubben on the left-hand side there. Nice and tight in the apex, but can we go around the outside of not one, but two riders? Look at the sandwich we've got going now. Left-hand side will go. Grant has got the job done. Eric Granado's just gone down behind us. Not sure where, but he wasn't involved in this particular moment right now. As Zacconi, don't touch my rear tyre. You're going to push me off track, mate. Oh, massive slide coming out of the corner there. Getting on the rumble strip and bringing on the acceleration. Far too eager and far too early. So now it puts us in a bit of a different situation. Egerter leads with Pons in second, Grant in third with 1.7 seconds separating the three riders. What are we going to do here? Do we have enough speed and gumption to chase down Egerter and Pons? I'm pretty confident that we do. I think we have it in our locker. So now it's time to put your key in your locker, open it up, and throw everything at Dominic Egerter, Mikel Pons. Doesn't matter to me that it's only the third race of the season. If I feel like I've got the speed to chase these boys down, and you better believe I'm going to go absolutely 120%, just like the AI difficulty right here today. 0.8 of a second is the gap to Torres already. We are on an absolute charge. 0.6 of a second has been taken away from Egerter and Pons leading this Grand Prix right now. And this might be the very first time Mikel Pons has led a Grand Prix. And there is Grant going a little bit wide, going into turn 1 for the Harbach corner on the right hand side. Just notice as well in the bottom left hand corner of your screen there, someone is absolutely miles back. I'm not entirely sure who that is, but they are absolutely miles back. They're going into Mandeville, I think. Or no, it's not even that. It's going into the Hoghide for 15. Goodness me. They are so far behind. And what has happened there? They're in Ramshock now. They've got the Great Timmer Chicane to deal with. And they're going to be fighting out. But going into the right hand for the Vischlang, we are still 1 second adrift from the battle up at the front as we go into the Russian hook. Up by 0.1 of a second. We did make that little bit of a mistake earlier on, of course. But now into Steckenval for turn 8. We are getting closer and closer. 0.8 of a second is the gap to the Swiss rider ahead and the Spaniard. So now on the left hand side for De Bolt. Do we have a chance to attack soon? Oh, very close to the green once again. I think I have been touching the green, but seems to be quite lenient in MotoE, so I'll take that. I will definitely take that. Thank you very much, stewards, for not noticing. Maybe at the end of the race I'll get a metaphorical slap on the wrist, but for the time being, turn 12. We do have Mikel Pons in second place now, so Egerter fighting back very, very strongly as we go on the left-hand side for 14. Left-hand side again for 15. Bring on the power. Bring on the acceleration with that battery-operated bike. Right-hand side now for the Great Timmer Chicane, the Geert Timmer Bock, as we go on the left-hand side for 17. And here we go, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Across the line we go. It's a 142.230 for the man on board the Indonesian Racing Gresini Energica Ego team. Of course, if you didn't realise why I went for this particular team, because it was Gresini owned and we are still running for Aprilia in MotoGP, so it very much makes sense to stick with the Gresini since Gresini is Aprilia, Aprilia is Gresini. You get it? Fair enough, let's move on. Now into Strubben for the left-hander. I'm still yet to make one of my patented overtakes into Strubben. Maybe at the earlier part of the Grand Prix we might have gone through 1 or 2 riders, but I'm thinking a proper good old dive up on the inside of some would-be unsuspecting rider in MotoE right now. But on the right hand side, going into the Vischlang, one of the best overtaking points ever if you're brave enough to then continuing on into Russian hook. We are right onto the rear of Pons and Egerter, and I tell you what, those tyres are doing a fantastic job. They are still more than enough life left in them for the rest of this Grand Prix, and now all three of us wearing the patented rain suits in dry conditions are going to batter it out. For some strange reason we are wearing those, but never mind. Don't let it take away from the creativity and the realism I'm trying to push on you right now. Don't be unimmersed, because I'm doing my best as we run it a little bit wide. Thankfully no penalty was given as we go on the right hand side now for turn 12. Turn 13 for the Hoghide. This brief little dip into the right hander there. A little bit of a dip to the left hand for turn 14, and then for Ramshock for 15, we'll then have a lunge going into 16 potentially. Can we get the job done? Going into 16, we have got the job done. Mikel Pons has been pushed back briefly. Pons is fighting back. He does not want to give up that second position. He had the drive. We lost the drive there, unfortunately. So Mikel Pons, brilliant job, but starting the last 3 laps now, ladies and gentlemen, so not much more in it. A lot more in it to play for in the sense of championship standings and points in the sense of the World Cup. Of course, the MotoE World Cup Championship is, of course, it's known as, which is I'm not a fan of the old World Cup idea, but right now, going up on the inside of Pons, is Pons going to do the Strubben to Grant? He certainly is. Can he hold it? He certainly does. Brilliantly done for Mikel Pons, the Spaniard up on the inside of Grant. The British rider had nothing to fight back with. Mikel Pons into second position. Egerter into first. Oh, but can we get round the outside like we did to the riders early on to Zacconi and Torres? It's not going to be enough. Well played to Mikel Pons. Very, very strong, very aggressive in this one. Very pleased with Mikel Pons. Good to see he's battling, but Grant, a little bit of contact pushing him wide into Steckenval. Round the outside, up on the inside. Doesn't matter where we went for it. We decided to go in the inside there. My apologies for pushing him wide, but the main result is that we got on through, and that is all that mattered. Favoured myself to be a bit of a Jim Morrison there. I was breaking on through to the other side, just like the doors. That is exactly what you got to do here in Assen. But now going into Dukesloop for turn 11, right onto the rear of the number 77, the Swiss man, the man who finished second place, runner-up in the World Cup this season. And of course, Hoghide for 13, 14, 15 coming up. You know I'm going to go for it if the opportunity comes up. Here it comes. Hard braking zone. Can we get the job done? Not quite. Egerter's too strong. Brilliantly done there for Egerter. Very, very strong, very professional, very firm on their brakes. So this will mean there will be just 2 more laps. The penultimate lap is here today. Here goes. Oh my goodness, Egerter. I thought he was going to cut my nose off there. He'll be looking at a 2-race ban for that one. Circa Denison Chew. But on the right hand side we'll go now for turn 2. Turn 3, do we have a move up coming up at the inside? Bit of contact, Egerter's push wide. Where is Mikel Pons? You better believe he's going to go for a lunge if he can see the opportunity. Mikel Pons never won a MotoE Grand Prix. There's my Strubben move. Is it going to happen? Oh, bit of contact but not quite good enough. Goodness me, I thought that was going to be the Strubben lunge. We still yet to do that. The Dr. A Strubben. The Dr. A's lunge going into Strubben. Absolute iconic for Moto 3, Moto 2 and even in MotoGP as well. But now for the Wienstein, can we get around to the outside of Egerter? Egerter is really holding firm in this one. Usually they kind of drop off at this point, but Egerter, he is not letting it go. He has certainly got the bit between his teeth. I've just seen the fairing of Mikel Pons' Energica Ego bike. But now on the right-hand side, just briefly, as we get on the left-hand side now, going into the left-hander of De Bolt, we do have the lead, but for how long? Is this the critical part of this Assen Grand Prix going into Mandevin? A little bit wide for my liking there, way too wide. We're actually on the rumble strip, which loses a bit of time. There is Egerter and there is Pons, first to third in one corner. This has not been the usual mistake-free good riding from myself. I've made a few mistakes in this one, so now it's time to dig down deep once again and fight back against these 2 fantastic riders. There is Mikel Pons now going for the lead. Mikel Pons is going to be starting the final lap of this Grand Prix in first position. Is a first victory beckoning the Spanish rider right now here today. Across the line we will go, and it's the start of the final lap. No more penultimate, no more laps after this one. This is it. Pons, Egerter, Grant, Zacconi's 1.4 seconds behind. It's down to those 3 men to battle it out for victory. Only one of these men can be declared the Assen Grand Prix winner, the Dutch GP winner. Who is it going to be? Place your bets now, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll tell you at the end of this Grand Prix who's going to win. But for the time being, do we have the Strubben lunge coming? It's not quite there yet. Do we have the lunge on the outside? The exit of the corner. We got the job done. Egerter is super quick on the acceleration. Brilliantly done there for the Swiss rider. That's that World Supersport 600 experience coming in there as well. Coming around the outside of Egerter, not quite. He's hanging in there going into the Wienstein and has positioned that bike wonderfully to defend going up into Russian Hook for turn 7. You'd better believe the man in second place right now, Egerter, he wants as many points as possible. So if he can hold me off into third, take the victory from Pons, he is going to be in a great situation to fight back in this championship. Halfway through the final lap, this is going to be it. Trying to go up at the inside, around the outside of Egerter, trying to go anywhere to get up at the inside, but just to go through on this Swiss man. But a little bit of contact pushed him wide a little bit. Pons has got the job done here if we continue to battle like this. The infighting between Egerter and Grant is battling. Oh, contact made there! As Egerter gets thrown off the track almost. He's still on board, but now it's down to us, Pons and Grant. Who is it going to be? There can only be one victor. There can be only one winner of the Dutch GP. Let's better make sure it's going to be me. Hard on the brakes, we'll go for the gear. Timmer chicane. Is this going to be the move? Is this got the job done? He has! Oh, another victory in Assen, courtesy of the gear Timmer chicane. Brilliantly done. Grant takes victory number 4 in a row. So guys and gals, how about that one? Grant wins again with Pons and Egerter on the podium. Magnificent position for Pons, brilliant performance from Egerter, but ultimately we took the 25 championship points. So we look at the championship standings, and Egerter now trails by 49 points as Mikel Pons puts himself up there into third and only trails by 54. And finally a look at the team championship with Trentino Gresini MotoE with a perfect 129 points with a complete advantage of 55 points over Tech 3 E-Racing. But for now guys, thanks for watching as always, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single Dr. Ace upload. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now.
Oh hi! Didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more Dr. Ace content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single Dr. Ace video.